2021 here at the Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm here with Mike Hinman. He doesn't need any introductions, but just to throw you a few plugs. New coach of AC Diesel.
Yep.
Owner of Aftermath.
Yep, for now.
New acquiring of the USXBL League.
Yep. Owner of that and WCPL. So
I don't know how you do it. You have only 40 hours in the week too, or you work more than that too?
I mean, like everybody in America, I think we all work more than 40, and my girlfriend Tracy definitely helps a ton with everything, right? So
Awesome. Sounds like you got a good woman.
Always.
So let's talk about AC Diesel. How and why did you make that move?
I mean, Mark and I, the year we won our pro spot here at the league, we battled AC Diesel all year.
Sure.
And there was just a lot of friendship built in the fights that we had, the games that we played, but off the field, you just build that. When you're rivals with somebody, sometimes you build a respect across the trenches from each other. So, you know, when I stepped back last year from Aftermath, Wayne and the guys kind of took it over. It was a rebuild, and I didn't have the time for it every weekend and with the leagues and stuff. I just told Mark and Mouse, obviously Alex Goldman came up underneath me when he was just a little kid. Said, if you guys ever need help, I'm always here for you. Just make the call and I'll be there. So after Texas, another rough event for the team, they made the call and say less, and I was there.
Like, I'm there.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool that you were able to step away, prioritize, you know. I think that's a great characteristic that you have, because I wish I could do that. I try to put it all and do it all, and sometimes it doesn't come out with the great outcomes.
Yeah, I mean, it was right, but also on the Aftermath side, Wayne Woodruff that's running the team and will be the new owner of the team, he's done a great job with it. And sometimes you realize, like, your baby, which Aftermath has been mine for however long now, almost 15, 16, 17 years, it was in good hands. So it was right for me to take a step back. Like, it wasn't like they were in a tough spot. They were in probably a better spot than I left them in.
Sure. So when Mark made all these moves and spent all this money, I was like, wow, he's spending a lot of alphas on that team. And I wasn't a believer in it.
Totally.
Obviously, the outcomes have been great so far.
100%.
But what do you think that you're going to be able to bring to the table? I mean, I know you have rapport with those guys. Like you said, you helped Mouse grow up as a player, and all the guys, really.
Kyle Spica moved from Florida and lived in my house when he came to California with me, my wife at the time, all my kids. So we go back. Justin Rabikoff and I lived together when we were kids. My dad was a machinist. His dad was a sales rep at Dye. So there's so many relationships on the team that it fits like an old pair of shoes, right? But,
Sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, every team out there, even divisional teams, keeping 70-80% of your roster intact from year to year is really important, like Dynasty, to be able to have a conducive team to win or thing to win. And with Diesel, there's a lot of new faces, so now you have to try to find that cohesion, and that's what we're trying to do. And you don't find lightning in a bottle easy, right?
Sure.
It's not going to be an easy road for us. We still have probably some trials and tribulations we got to go through, but just step by step, it's kind of
finding that chemistry as we go.
Yeah.
Who blends with who?
Totally. Honestly, I think on the outside, a lot of people see a lot of the alphas and the big names, but we don't have any weird attitudes. There's no weird egos. Everybody's trying to push each other to be better. There's nobody going after each other personally. So I don't think it'll be too much to overcome. This is a tough league, man. There's top to bottom. There's just your worst team in this league is still a great team in any other division, right? So hopefully we just don't make the little mistakes.
Okay. So let's talk about the USXBL.
Yes.
So you took on AC Diesel and that new league at the same time. What type of move is that? Is that a power move? Is it coincidence?
No, it's a coincidence. I mean, the Diesel call had already come in. And again, Steve Rabikoff and I go so far back. He owns Park West Arms now. My dad was a machinist there years ago. While Steve and my dad worked together at Dye, years later, my dad worked there. He now owns it. They weren't there at the same time. But just a weird synergy through life, how we seem to keep running into each other down the road, even out of this paintball world.
Sure.
So with Steve, it was easy. Like, hey, WCBL was looking to come because we're the second largest league and we're the largest regional league in the world. We're coming to Texas. I'd rather buy you out than to go to war with you. Sure. And Steve was happy to sell. And he had said it's been 30 years. His time's come. He's heading out. And our goal in Texas is just to standardize things like we do on the West Coast, build a healthy region. So hopefully some of those teams can graduate up. The whole Aftermath roster is from WC Premier.
Yep.
So our whole goal is to build a healthy region, and hopefully some of those teams that can graduate but come up to the NXL. And, if every region has a very healthy base, how can it not be healthy for everybody? The industry, this league, and everybody. And, in a lot of the interviews people have heard me do, like, he's got to, I was talking to Tom yesterday about it. Like, I don't want to be this. I just want to be me and stay in my own lane and do my job and do it as good as I can do it. So that's our goal. Just have good events.
I think that's a great point, that if every region is strong, it's just going to make us stronger. I love that point of view. And I think the more paintball being played is better for the whole industry as a whole. Paint being shot, field owners, getting those young players up through the ranks. Because right now we need to get those young players playing now.
Absolutely. At a regional level that's cost effective. And then we always know there's a certain percentage that end up moving up and becoming these guys or any of these divisional teams, or they just have the money. Sure. Everybody wants to be here. There's nobody that doesn't want to be here. It just comes down to, can they afford it? Sure. And can we also, with regions, keep that money funneling up here for teams to be able to come up here. So that's kind of my goal.
I call it the circle of life too. So even when they exit, somehow they still end up coming back in their late 30s, early 40s, even 50s now.
Nobody quits paintball. Right. You just take long breaks.
There you go.
No matter what your region you're from, 10 years later, a face walks in where you're like, that's so-and-so. I ain't seen you in 10 years. It's the one Northern Star I think we all have. We all come back to this. And it's fun because our regular lives, we leave at home. And there's so many different walks of life here. But when we come here, it's kind of kid in a candy store, right? Like, it's Disneyland
Your
for us.
eyes get big. Yeah. I want this. I want that.
I can tell you for myself, before our first match, I mean, the anxiety still kicks up.
Your heart still races.
I'm looking at my Fitbit, and I'm like, that ain't the caffeine.
And you're like, I'm not running.
Totally. So paintball's fun.
Very
And,
cool.
this is a great place to be. It's a beautiful weekend out here. I mean, here we are heading into summer, and it's like 70 degrees out here.
I love it.
Beautiful location. So it's been great so far.
So how's your lineup for the weekend looking?
I mean, everybody just saw it. We 6-0'd Seattle Uprising, sorry. And, I mean, we're good. We think we're good. We always think you're good until you're not, right?
Sure.
So we got some tougher games. We got to play X Factor next. It's going to be a tough one. We got the Russians and Infamous tomorrow. Those will be tough games. But hopefully we can do our game plan, right?
Sure. Play your game.
Best intentions.
Last thing, if you have someone out there that's just trying to get into paintball, what is your advice to them?
I mean, if anybody, myself included, can go from the bottom to the top of this game, you can be out here on this pro field. It is easy to do. You just got to put your time in, and it's the 10,000 hour rule. But go out to your local field, put the time in. For me as a coach, I've brought a ton of young talent up. Be the first one there, be the last one to leave. It's anything in life. You want to be great at something, you got to dedicate yourself to it. And I think in this sport, if you do it, it's funny. The teams that get lucky tend to put a lot of time in. I don't know if you call that luck, but everybody think, oh, they got lucky or they this. And even the Latin Saint guys out here, which are the lowest ranked team, are still putting in an insane amount of time to be here. So if you put the time in, and the blueprint's out here, it's for free. Go on YouTube. You can hear every pro team talking. You hear these guys talking, all these podcasts. The blueprint's not a secret. You have to just like life, outwork everybody in whatever you do, and you'll be the best at it. And it's a easy ladder to climb. So go to your local fields where there's an airball field. Man, be that guy that just hangs out, sticks around, and
first in, last out.
Make yourself seen, right?
Sure.
And I think it can be done. And come out here and observe and absorb, right? So much intel and so many guys like Todd Martinez right here walking by. How you living? Hit me up, 1-800-WHAT'S happening.
Well, thank you, Mike, so much for your time. Let's see how it pans out for you on Sunday.
Definitely. Thank you.